Japan backs Cambodia's initiative to resolve Myanmar's conflict. Japan threw its support behind Prime Minister Hun Sen's efforts to de-escalate and resolve the Myanmar conflict. Booster dose campaign lags as first local Omicron case hits the country. After the Ministry of Health announced the first Omicron case detected within the community, instead of the expected rush of people to get their booster shots, the number of people and youth who received the booster shots remained dismal. Foreign national gunned down at Panampang hotel. A foreign man is reported to have been murdered at a Panampang hotel last night in what appears to be a premeditated hit. Video, exploring Ta Tuat Temple. Forgotten Temples. Cambodia has been exploring and investigating the wonders of Ta Tuat Temple. PM reports 3 more local cases of Omicron in Cambodia as variant spreads into community. PM Hun Sen has confirmed that 3 more cases of the mutant Omicron variant have been found in the community, bringing the total to 183 to 4 local cases and 179 imported. Cambodian and Thai border security forces detain 24 Cambodians, 5 Thais for border violations. Border security authorities along the border with Thailand at Banti Minchi said that on January 8, they detained 13 Cambodians in Kot Hin village, Phan Sek commune, Orania district, Sakeo province for alleged border violations. Hun Sen set to inaugurate National Road No. 5 today. Prime Minister Hun Sen will preside over the inauguration ceremony of the 84.74 km National Road No. 5 Panampang Siri Sophorn this morning. Myanmar declares 5-month ceasefire as Hun Sen calls on ruling military junta. General Minit Aung Hlaing, chairman of the ruling State Administration Council, SAC, of Myanmar, declared a 5-month ceasefire when meeting with visiting Cambodian Prime Minister Samdech Techo Hun Sen in Nay Pai Tav on January 7. Campaign for 4th dose of vaccine to begin on January 14. The Health Ministry announced that the first phase for the provision of the 4th dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, comprising Pfizer, will be administered from January 14 onward. Cambodia's 30 new Omicron cases drew no concern. 1 case among them, a community case, has created fear. Cambodia registered to date, its highest number of single-day cases of Omicron variant infected cases, with 30 new infections bringing the total to 180. Baker McKenzie says U.S. government has tightened export controls for Cambodia. The U.S. Departments of State and Commerce had reportedly amended their regulations to strengthen U.S. export controls targeting Cambodia on December 9, 2021. Doors opened, PM's visit helps bid to bring peaceful end to Myanmar crisis. Prime Minister Hun Sen's working visit to Myanmar has brought about positive results for efforts by the ASEAN chair to resolve that country's crisis. No lockdowns as Omicron strain arrives in the community. Despite the first case of the highly transmissible Omicron variant being detected in the community in Panampang, health authorities have said that no lockdown will be reimposed, but those who had contact with the patient will be quarantined while they await results of testing. Is the new Deltacron COVID variant real? Scientist says no. Virologist Tom Peacock said on social media that Deltacron may not be an actual variant, but possibly a result of contamination. 38 roads in Siem Reap City and 70% of road decoration equipment completed. Sun Chanthol, Minister of Public Works and Transport and permanent Deputy Chairman of the 38 Road Infrastructure Construction Project in Siem Reap City, Siem Reap Province, led a technical team to inspect the progress of road infrastructure projects and the 38 lines in Siem Reap City, Siem Reap Province. ASEAN Special Envoy to Myanmar ready for approval from members. Cambodia's ASEAN Special Envoy picked to help resolve Myanmar's crisis will soon take action after official approval by the grouping's foreign ministers, said Foreign Affairs Minister Prak Sokhonn. ECKP First VP accused of forging voice message. ECPHP cheat Khmer parties, ECKP, Second Vice President Lak Sophep will file a lawsuit against her own party's first Vice President Aung Chim, for damaging her reputation as a politician. Police save Thais lured into working in Cambodia. Police have rescued hundreds of Thai nationals who claim to have been duped into working in Cambodia through online advertisements promising lucrative jobs. Long-term residents of state land ask for stability via land titles. People living in the Prek Ta Kong community in Panampang are concerned about the legal status of their homes as they live above the saw pipes and have never received land titles, despite some families having lived there for 40 years. Panampang Kasen Garden launched. On January 6, the Panampang Kasen Garden project, built by Cambodia Kasen International Real Estate Company, Limited, was launched at National Road No. 3 in Panampang and opened for sale on the same day. 5 charged with incitement in Kachnang. Kampong Chnang Provincial Court yesterday charged and detained 3 online journalists and 2 other villagers for allegedly inciting people to go against the authorities through a report on Facebook about a land dispute in Kampong Lung district. CPP slams slander over Victory Day celebration. The ruling Cambodian People's Party, CPP, has slammed the court-dissolved Cambodian National Rescue Party, CNRP, leaders for saying the cancellation of the Victory Day celebration was a sign of an internal rift among the CPP leaders. Fishing season at Tunnel Sap River still good to make prahok. The Ministry of Agriculture has called on those involved in the making of the traditional fermented fish paste, prahok, and meat paste to quickly do so before the fishing season at the Tunnel Sap River ends soon. Rice growers fear loss of crop yield with no rain in sight. With no rain in sight, rice growers in 3 communes, Toek Chea, Panam Leap and Prazit, of Pre Netra Pre district in Banti Minchi province fear they may lose their 2,000 hectares of crop yield due to drought. Kotom Teko Hospital to open at the end of this year. A hospital costing around $10 million in Kandal province's Kotom district will be put in service at the end of this year. UYF urges blood donations to save lives. The Union of Youth Federation, UYF, has urged its members and the public to show their generosity by donating blood because doing so can save lives, especially for victims injured in traffic accidents and pregnant women who lose blood after childbirth. Cambodian Blue Helmet sacrifices praised. The Cambodian Blue Helmet troops were lauded by the Foreign Affairs Minister Prak Sokhonn for their commitment, dedication, and sacrifice they make when carrying out their peacekeeping missions under the UN umbrella. International port in Kep province ready. The Kep provincial administration said the $1.2 million Kotunsay tourist port construction has been completed and an official inauguration is scheduled for this month, noting it will serve the tourist ships from Vietnam and Thailand. Irrawaddy dolphin found dead in Kratie. A male dolphin was found floating dead in the Mekong River in Kratie province. The Provincial Fishery Administration is investigating the cause of death a priority. No deforestation in Prey Lang Wildlife Sanctuary as alleged, MOE. The Ministry of Environment has denied an allegation raised by the Prey Lang Community Network that there has been extensive deforestation, comprising thousands of hectares in Stung Treng Province's Prey Lang Wildlife Sanctuary. 3 demoness killed by anti-tank mine explosion in Pre Viha Province. 3 demoness were killed and another sustained critical injuries today after an anti-tank mine exploded while attempting to remove it in the former Khmer Rouge stronghold in Pre Viha Province. Video: Cambodian PM highlights 2 mechanisms for Myanmar's crisis. Prime Minister Hun Sen, the ASEAN chair for 2022, has emphasized 2 mechanisms for the Myanmar's crisis, after concluding his 2-day official visit to Myanmar late last week. Review finds 61 fishes migrating between Mekong freshwater and marine habitats. Fishes that migrate between fresh and marine waters are known as diadromous species. They are among the most vulnerable species to river infrastructure development. Oda Minchi intervenes in Siem Reap and Banti Minchi water shortages. As approximately 7,000 hectares of rice paddies in Banti Minchi and Siem Reap face water shortages, Oda Minchi intervened by opening canals to provide water to the 2 drought-stricken provinces. Siem Reap launches booster campaign amid detection of new local Omicron cases. The Siem Reap Provincial Administration has begun its booster campaign in a bid to keep the province's recovery on track and prevent the mass spread of the Omicron variant. Prime Minister Hun Sen calls for understanding and assistance from ASEAN partners. Prime Minister Hun Sen called on all ASEAN partners to understand and facilitate Cambodia in fulfilling its role as chair for 2022. Crosstalk: private flight service demand resumes in Kingdom and beyond. PM orders the purchase of 5 more million doses of vaccine. As Cambodia begins to step up precautionary measures in the wake of local Omicron cases, Prime Minister Hun Sen has ordered the purchase of 5 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to be used as booster doses. PM, no COVID-19 case among more than 3 million students on first day of school year. Prime Minister Hun Sen reported that during the opening ceremony of the new school year, which saw more than 3 million students participate, there was no COVID-19 case discovered. Cambodian PM highlights 2 mechanisms for Myanmar's crisis. Prime Minister Hun Sen, the ASEAN chair for 2022, has emphasized 2 mechanisms for the Myanmar's crisis, after concluding his 2-day official visit to Myanmar late last week. Number of households with clean water supply increased by more than 1 million in 2021. The Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology and Innovation was able to provide more than 1 million households with a clean water supply in 2021. The next wave, Omicron cases rise again as community cases emerge in Cambodia. As more community cases of Omicron are reported in Cambodia, and imported cases continue to grow, the kingdom recorded another jump in Omicron cases. 30th anniversary of Japan's PKO in Cambodia to be commemorated this year. Prime Minister Hun Sen this morning congratulated the 30th anniversary of Japan's contribution to UN peacekeeping operations, PKO, in Cambodia in the early 1990s. People get vaccinated with Pfizer vaccines in Panampang. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that the Pfizer vaccines will be administered as booster doses for all the people in Panampang, including those in the provinces. Progress of turning border into development area at more than 90% completion. Prime Minister Hun Sen recently announced that the goal to turn the borders of the country into a development area has reached 90% completion. The government is purchasing 5 million doses of vaccines, says PM Hun Sen. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that the government is purchasing 5 million doses of COVID vaccines to expedite the booster shots campaigns across the country.